Evening all. So today we're going to show you a bit of comedy, but also maybe a new fit for your arsenal. This is going to be sniper tanks. Yeah, okay, I can hear a number of you really going like, what, why? Railgun tanks are pretty good, and let me show you why. Now this is going to start slowly, and we're then going to go to 5 times speed, just because spooling up one of these things takes a while. But you'll see this is across 3 matches the effort that takes place with railgun tanks. So you can see here we've sped up quite a bit. Now this first instance is just a gun logi with a rail tank, with a rail gun, so it's still got the same same tank, same everything, so it's pretty stock. But what I'm doing is, as you can see, I mean, you know, for some reason that tank's pretty really tank, but the purpose of, I think, rail tanks is that you sit way at the back. You are impossible to be sniped. You can be railgunned and obviously rail and forge gunned, but the reality of it is that it's not a bad tactic, particularly if you're kind of you know, pretty good with the railgun, as I'm not, as you can see. But you know, if you get good at it, and seriously, over time, this was only my first try doing it, and then this map ends. We'll show you another one in just a second. I start to get a bit better at it, but the majority of what you're trying to do here, this is, I think, is a great concept for court battles as well, is that you destroy all the infrastructure. So they take a turret, you blap it. They take the clone unit, you destroy it. They take a supply depot, you ruin it, and that's really what it's about. So also, as you can see, they're calling in vehicles, and it's just, you know, I'm even able to shoot down the dropship as they bring it down. So it's a pretty cool thing. In terms of maybe where you would use this, as you can see, it's not always perfect, and again, turrets suffer greatly from being on the uneven. So I'm currently kind of on an uneven ledge, so my sight's pretty bad, and I only figure out this pretty much towards the end. But again, the railgun does a huge amount of damage, so it can do 1200 damage if you hit something, and it's got a blast area of around 2.5 meters, which can be improved, and it's also got a splash damage of maybe, you know, 200, 250. So it's not too bad. You know, it's suitable. Now this time around, what I did here is I actually fit a different tank. This is actually a Soma, so it's just a Soma. But what I did here is I actually put better, you know, I put a better railgun on for a start. I also put some damage mods on, and we'll show you the damage mods later. But certainly the ability to increase the damage, the hybrid turret damage using turret upgrades was pretty good. But again, as you can see, slightly on level, so I think the range of this thing's pretty broken. I guess maybe he's just out of my range. I didn't seem able to really do much, but don't worry, he will get his comeuppance. And all I'm doing is just sniping, as you can see, and it's you know, it's good. I'm taking out all their infrastructure, so their clone, their resupply, their you know, even their turrets, they're all gone now. So they've got no support to basically rely on. So as you can see, just killing out their last CIU. Boom, there it goes. So, you know, pretty much you're changing the entire dynamic of the map. So I think that's quite interesting. I think you certainly could do. You really do actually change the whole map, because without the CIU near B, then effectively B no longer becomes the primary point. The area between A and C becomes the primary point because you're closer to the two. So, well worth considering. In terms of the tank as well, I mean, if you drive a sniper tank, you're probably not going to lose it. So you know, it's not a bad addition to use for your arsenal, because you rarely lose them. You can still get orbitaled, which does happen, unfortunately, but generally I would say that you're pretty safe in one. Even if you use militia as well. I mean, the militia with a pretty crap fit, to be honest, a stock fit, you could be maybe fielding this from maybe about 250. So there we go, boom. He just came within range and blapped him within seconds. And then here we go, just trying to shoot down their stuff as it comes. I must say, I do love this game at 5 times speed. I think it makes it a much more funny game. So that guy's capturing that turret, so let's just kill that turret, boom. So you get no benefit from it, you know. So, you know, I know everyone's kind of really up on blaster tanks at the moment, but I would say one of these would kill any blaster tank on the field. And if you disagree with me, well, you're probably right. But I just think, you know, with one, I mean, I got my gun logi with blasters, you know, pretty high tank, pretty decent fit, and it got destroyed in seconds by somebody sat with a railgun tank shooting me from afar. So I think this is, I don't know, maybe a counter for blaster tanks, is calling one of these. It depends which map you're in, because not all maps you have a real good vantage like this, but if you do, I would probably suggest you have a militia fit tank with maybe a good railgun, go for the Soma, because you've got more lows to work with, so you can actually fit more you know, stuff to your low slots. But I would say this is maybe a viable tactic, because if somebody brings in now a good tank, you can pretty much snipe it from afar, unless they bring in a railgun tank to deal with you. But again, that's escalation, that's what it's all about, and I think that's the awesome part of Dust, is it's going to be this escalating battle. Now, on to Battle 3. First thing I see when I get in is the dropships. Now, that was just gorgeous. That shooting down that dropship in high speed, oh, love it. Now, I must note, the Soma sounds like a Hoover, so it sounds like a vacuum cleaner as I'm driving around. And again, this is all damage and all you know, mods. So I've got the mods that give me 20% speed on the turret, I've got the 7% damage mod, the increased firing rate of 2%, and I've got 3 of them on. So pretty much this thing has got no tank whatsoever, which was a bad idea, and you'll see I actually lost this tank twice in this round. So I think as testing goes, it's better to fit the best possible tank you can, because you can even survive an orbital, but I'd say the railgun doesn't really need too much additional boost to make it good. It's still pretty good. So there you go, I just got hit by a couple of swarm launchers and it's almost killed me pretty much, which is a shame, because this tactic is quite a viable one, I think. Had I been in my gun logi, it would not have been an issue. They could have been shooting me for a while and I'd still got out. But it's up to you. I think, you know, the Soma's not a bad choice if you feel completely safe. Maybe have a militia Soma loaded that you can use when you know, when you're completely sure you're not going to be hit, because this thing does a huge amount of damage. And I think, as far as a sniper rifle goes, I think this has to be the ultimate sniper rifle, doesn't it? Because you're impossible to be sniped, but you can still be forge gunned. So just always remember that. But I think if you just get a good tank in with a good fit, you know, even a militia one, then it's good enough. And I think railguns do a significant amount of damage. Although, as you see, you still drive them into something, you die. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Give sniper tanks a go, because they're pretty awesome. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.